Hey, welcome back. Glad to have you along for the ride. My name is Don, and this is Adventures This Way. Today I'm going to talk to you about my 1 year of owning my 2021 Can-Am Renegade 1000 XMR. It's not going to be a regular review. I'm going to go through some likes and dislikes now that I've had it for a good solid year. But I really wanted to describe the experience of going from a brand new buyer to being an experienced Renegade rider. First off, here's a little history. I had a Sportsman 850 that I had converted for a mud machine, and I was really happy with that. I ended up needing to replace the engine or have it rebuilt. So at that time, I decided it wasn't worth spending any more money on it, so I parted it out. It wasn't an easy decision, but it made the most financial sense, and I'm super glad that I went that route. I really, really am. When it came to choosing a machine, Renegade really wasn't my first choice. I looked at an Outlander 850 XMR. I also seriously looked at a Renegade 1000 XXC. I really, really did. I actually made my decision I was gonna get one. But availability was an issue at the time. So I kind of put that in the back burner, and the more I thought about it and the more I researched it, the Renegade 1000 XMR, that was the answer. There was one that was already on order from the dealership, and I jumped on it. That decision was tricky because they're so darn expensive. The Renegade 1000 XMR is the most expensive ATV you can buy out there. It is. But let me tell you this, once you come to terms with the price and you feel the power of it, the pain of the expense just goes away every time you smile. In all honesty, I never thought I would enjoy this machine as much as I do. I never thought of it in a million years.
Oh man.
Just last night, I went for a quick ride. That's why it's kind of dirty. I'm going out for another spin here today. It's Saturday. I put a new belt on it. I want to get a little bit of break-in time on it. And I also made a few clutching tweaks. So I just wanted to see how that felt, and it felt pretty good. Felt pretty good. Here's the biggest downfall or a negative of buying a machine like this behind me. The price to upgrade your clutching is so expensive, but it's so worth it. The big negative with all the Can-Ams, this one included, the clutching is subpar, but I already knew that ahead of time. Now, like I said earlier, I parted out my Player Sportsman, and things went pretty well with sales for that. I was able to afford a brand new STM clutch for this thing. And let me tell you, what a difference. What a difference. Of course, you got to get better or bigger tires because the stock cryptids, they're just not big enough for most mud riding. At least not around where I ride. So here's my second biggest gripe about this machine. And I've said it before, I've done another review video a few months after I owned the machine, and I've covered a whole bunch of points. I'm not gonna cover those again. The plastics, they just don't fit that great. I have 3 or 4 broken tabs on mine. Maybe I just got a bad run of plastics, The fit and finish is not that great for a premium machine. It really isn't. It could be better. Come on, Can-Am. So the other big negative, now for me, it's not a huge issue, but the shock calibrations are too stiff. They really are. A lot of people aren't going to find it a comfortable ride. However, I don't mind it. I've made some adjustments to get it where I like, but really how these shocks are calibrated, the harder you ride it, the better it is. Part of the reason why they're calibrated so stiff is because to account for the extra weight of mud and skeg and all that kind of stuff that gets stuck on your machine when you're riding it. So let's talk about any of the issues that I've had with my machine. It's really gone quite well, but for one of the first little issues I have, I ride in a lot of mud and water. Now, the snorkel system on this is very, very good. However, you do get muddy water splashing in quite easily. So I finally remedied that. I've got myself a new cover, and there's a way to actually keep the stock frog skin screen intact. It's not easy, but I think it's going to make a big difference. Rear differential, all the differential seals have been replaced. The driveline seal into the transmission has been replaced, and one front differential seal. When I did have it in for work, they actually replaced the rear yoke coming out of the differential. I don't know why they did, but they had the parts, it was warranty, they got it done. So that was good. All right, there's one other major issue that I had. I had a problem with my transmission. I already made a video talking all about it, but I'll just touch on it here briefly. It popped out of gear on me once when it was brand new. Did it a second time a few months later, and then I was battling grinding going into high gear. I'd make some adjustments, it would be fine, then it would do it periodically. Then it got to the point, one ride, it would not go into high gear at all. Took it in, turns out, through Can-Am, it's not covered under warranty. That was very disappointing. But luckily, I had a good dealer and they worked with me and they helped me out and they covered it for me. I still don't understand how you can have a brand new machine, you pay extra warranty and it's not covered. It's not right. It's not right. But it got looked after. I know I'm not the only one that's had that problem. Something to consider. One other thing that did come up just recently was I was having some issues with the forelock engaging. Turns out all it was a software update was needed for the instrument cluster. Works mint. So if you're having issues with your forelock, that's something you can definitely have your dealer check out for you. Let's go back over some more positives. Other than the power and the power delivery. I mean, they're friggin' awesome. Like I said, I went for a spin last night and just going through the mud and the water and splashing around, it was so much fun. I haven't done that since last November. I mean, I have gone out for a few good rips in the snow, and the snow rips are fun. This thing is a lot of fun in the snow if you got some decent sized pile tires. It really is. But nothing compares to splashing around in the water and ripping through mud holes. I love it, man. I love it. The biggest thing that you're not going to see on any spec sheets is it's so easy to access everything for maintenance. This is a high performance machine and it requires high maintenance. You got to get in there, keep everything greased. You got to inspect everything on a regular basis, make sure everything's good and tight so you don't have any problems when you're out on the trail. Recently, my wife got her own machine, a 2022 Can-Am Outlander 570 XMR. And I got to tell you, just doing some work on it to install the winch, there's so many more plastics to take off, it's just not as easy to get at things. I mean, is it a deal breaker for some people? Maybe, maybe not. You get bigger fenders, more plastics to take off. It's a give and take kind of thing. This thing, the Renegade behind me here, it's not perfect. It's not. And I'm not a brand loyalist saying that, oh, this is the best one you gotta get. You know, there's other manufacturers out there that have some other features that are probably a little bit better than you're gonna find on this. Some people are super brand loyal, but I gotta tell you, there's nothing out there right now that would change my mind to get anything different than this thing back here. It really doesn't matter what brand, engine size of ATV you have. It really doesn't. What's really important is that you get out there and enjoy yourself, get out there with your buds, get some throttle therapy. If you want to learn a little bit more about my journey with this Renegade here, why don't you check out one of these early riding videos right here. See you in the next one.